Fire and Justice, the true story of the Triangle Factory tragedy. New York City, 1911. The skyline shimmered with ambition, steel skeletons of skyscrapers rising toward the clouds, electric lights glowing along Broadway, and the constant rattle of streetcars on cobblestone streets. The city pulsed with the promise of modernity, yet beneath that glitter lay a darker, harsher truth. The lives of thousands of immigrant workers who kept the wheels of progress turning, often at the cost of their own safety and dignity. Most of these workers were young women, Italians, Russians, Jews, and Irish, who had arrived in America chasing the dream of a better life. They believed this country would offer freedom and prosperity. Instead, they found themselves trapped in dim, crowded sweatshops, sewing for endless hours under suffocating conditions. Among the largest of these was the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory, located in Manhattan's Ash Building near Washington Square. The factory occupied the top 3 floors of an 8-story building and was owned by 2 men, Isaac Harris and Max Blank, immigrants themselves who had risen from poverty to become wealthy industrialists. They were called the Shirtwaist Kings because their company produced fashionable women's blouses that were all the rage in New York's department stores. But Harris and Blank's success came at a terrible cost. They were known for locking doors during working hours to prevent theft, for blocking fire exits to keep workers from leaving early, and for ignoring safety hazards that were visible to everyone. The factory was filled with flammable fabric, wooden tables, and oil-soaked floors, an inferno waiting for a spark. It was Saturday, March 25, 1911, a warm spring afternoon. Nearly 500 workers, mostly young women between the ages of 14 and 23, were finishing their shifts. Some were laughing, chatting about their weekend plans, while others neatly folded blouses into boxes. The air was heavy with the smell of cloth and machine oil. The clock neared 4:40 p.m. And then, someone smelled smoke. A small flicker of flame appeared in a scrap bin beneath a cutting table on the 8th floor. No one knows exactly how it started, perhaps a cigarette, perhaps a faulty wire, but within seconds, the fire raced upward, feeding on cotton, tissue paper, and lint. A worker screamed, "Fire! Fire!" Panic erupted instantly. They rushed toward the doors, but the main exit was locked. It always was. Harris and Blythe had ordered it so. The only open stairway quickly filled with smoke. Flames roared across the ceiling. Desperate workers tried to reach the elevators, but the heat was unbearable. One elevator operator, Joseph Zito, became a hero that day. Knowing the danger, he went up and down repeatedly, rescuing as many people as he could until the elevator's cables melted and the machine broke down. When it finally stopped working, some girls jumped into the open shaft, hoping to survive the fall. Most never did. The fire spread upward to the 9th floor in less than 3 minutes. There was no fire alarm system, there were no sprinklers, there was no plan. People clawed at the windows, gasping for air, while smoke and heat closed in. Some tore curtains to cover their faces, others prayed. The sound of screams filled the air, echoing through the streets below. Outside, a crowd began to gather. Passers-by, policemen, and fire trucks arrived, but the fire ladders could only reach the 6th floor. The women above were trapped. When the fire engines began spraying water, the streams fell short of the 9th floor windows. The people inside realized no help was coming. Then the first body fell. A girl in a blue dress leapt from the window, arms outstretched. A moment later, another followed, then 2 holding hands. In horror, the crowd screamed as one after another. Workers hurled themselves into the air to escape the flames. The sound of bodies hitting the pavement was like the steady drum of desperation. Within 20 minutes, it was over. The fire had consumed the top floors, leaving behind blackened walls and twisted steel frames. When firefighters entered the building, they found scenes of unimaginable horror. Some bodies were piled against locked doors. Others lay charred beside their sewing machines. In all, 146 workers died, 123 women and 23 men. New York City fell silent in mourning. The newspapers the next morning called it the Factory Fire Horror. Photographs of the dead lined the front pages, their shoes, their burned hands, the shattered windows. The